Hi there, I'm Nia. If you're just getting into trading and all these charts and decisions seem confusing and overwhelming, trust me, you're not alone. Today, I'm going to show you a simple example of a strategy we use in my community. I'll explain everything in plain, simple terms so you can grasp the core of the idea from the very first watch. Step by step, it'll all start to make sense and you might be surprised at how approachable it actually is. So let's jump in and walk through it together. Let's get started. In this situation, we see a downward movement, prices. At the same time, the indicator is in the negative zone, but is actually relatively neutral. I open a trade down and wait for the expiration time. Great, the deal closed in my favor. I can't help but feel good about it. Actually, here we could notice the following point. We have a downward price movement. MACD is in the zone below the zero mark, that is below this mark. And in this regard, we calmly opened a trade down and waited for the expiration time. We see an upward price movement, boldly open a call option and wait for the end of the trade. Great. It's pretty simple here too. We didn't make any effort. We see an upward movement of the MACD, which is accompanied by a green histogram. We open upstairs. We didn't think about it at all. We didn't think about anything. Just an upward movement of the chart and an upward movement of the indicator. Here we see a negative bias on the MACD indicator. Due to this, I opened just down and waiting for the expiry time. Here, great. The deal closed pretty close to the entry point. Nothing interesting happened. Maximum. Here we have the MACD indicator below the zero mark and the general movement is still downward. Before we go further, a quick insight. A lot of new members in my community say they started feeling confident after just a few sessions. That's because I regularly share clear entry points and everyone can choose what to use and at what pace. If you want to learn more, check the link in the description. You'll find all the info about the format and the tools we use. We see here the beginning of a downward movement. Open a trade down and wait for the result. Awesome, that's a great situation. Notice the indicator move, and that movement was caught along with the price. It's pretty simple. Next, we see here a rather volatile chart with a downward movement of the MACD indicator, where I will open a position down and wait for the expiration time. While we're waiting for the trade to close, write in the comments what indicators you would like to see me use to analyze the market. Great. By the way, look at the result. Here we see the downward movement of the indicator, caught it with the price. Everything is similar to the previous deal. Everything is exactly the same. It doesn't make any sense at all. The chart is standing still. Our indicator is standing still. I don't want to analyze it at all. Moving on, here we see downward movement of the indicator and upward movement of the price. But at the same time, it is as if a correction is needed in this chart. From this, I open the trade down and I'm waiting for the expiry time. The momentum has happened and I can't help but feel good about it. We see a downward movement of MACD and a small corrective movement in the chart. Now we can see a more global downward movement. We caught it and worked out this situation amazingly. In my community, we rely on tools with proven accuracy. That means no guessing, no games, just data, logic, and a structured approach. Even if you're a complete beginner, you can follow along with clear and actionable recommendations. Want to see how it all works in real life? Click in the link in the description and come join us. I'm moving on. Here I open boldly upward because although the chart is falling, but the indicator indicates that this is the bottom and after it should be followed by an upward movement. Actually, we can observe it, just a great read coupled with a prompt. We see here is the reversal, also known as upward movement of the histogram in this area, which resulted in an uptrend in the chart. Everything is amazing. A very beautiful workup and a very beautiful situation was analyzed. Let's move on. Here we see a downward movement. Because of this, just without thinking, we open the trade down and wait for the end of the trade. Terrific. In this situation, it is simply a downward movement accompanied by an indicator. It's pretty simple. It's not even particularly interesting because it's too classic an outcome. For me, the biggest strength of our community is the clarity and structure behind everything we do. Every day, I publish multiple entry points so that thousands of members can follow the process and track their own growth. If I walk you through everything live, so you not only see what to do, but why we do it. If that sounds like your kind of approach, hit the link in the description. It could be the right fit for you. Here we see exactly the same situation. Because of this, without thinking long, I opened a trade down. I honestly opened higher here, but hopefully in this situation too, the trade will close like butter. We are waiting. You see, even in such a situation, when due to the internet quite slow and opened a position, it's still no big deal because we have a general price movement, downward movement of the indicator, and just by direction in this situation. I opened a position and I successfully fixed it. Moving on, here we see a similar situation to the previous one, but here we see that the indicator has started to head upwards, and this indicates that after this correction, the upward movement should continue. Because of this, I opened a position and successfully locked it in. That is, we can see that there was a downward movement in this area, but there was a correction after this upward impulse. And here we see a reversal. The red line crossed the green line and started to reverse gradually. And it spilled out a little movement upstairs and it's starting to take shape now. That's how it turned out today to analyze our situations. I consider it a success. That's all for today. If you like my style and found this strategy interesting, then maybe it's time to try putting it into action. There are already over 15,000 people in my community, all moving forward with a clear system and focused direction. Don't wait, your next chapter might just start with one click. See you on the inside.